We talked about this idea of if you are a boomer, what is the smartest move going forward? I want to bring to light what Jason Randall put here in the chat saying money that is inherited has a good chance of getting pissed away, like lottery wins. Easy come, easy go. So that being said, if we're thinking about this idea of there's already this advantage of the step up basis, right? So if you're leaving something behind that's tax advantaged. Victor Rader saying, which is why our kids will likely cash out and reinvest wherever. To me, I look at that a little bit differently. I see as this combination of the step up basis and the fact that real estate performs a certain way and gives you more options as it grows, as giving the next generation the ability to not just inherit a pile of money that will get taxed. And, you got to do something. If you're going to reinvest it, you're definitely going to get taxed or whatnot. But if you were to leave behind, what you would talk about, this army of cash flow producing income properties, you're not just leaving behind something that is easy come, easy go. You're leaving behind something that is its own little, right? Like, let's say I have 10 kids and I have 10 properties and they each get a property. Everybody gets their own kind of like cash generation machine. Everybody almost like inherits their own little business that has the ability to either spit cash for them or allows them to refinance and invest that money into other things without getting taxed on taking the money out, right? Or allows you to cash out and do a 1031 exchange and invest in more real estate and grow the pie at a tax advantaged position. So it just feels to me that if I was a boomer and I was thinking of what I'm leaving, and I don't even know if boomer is a bad word. If I was in the baby boomer generation, right? Like I feel like the term boomer gets maligned, right? But like if I'm in this generation where I'm thinking, all right, I'm within 20 years of my mortality according to statistics, and I have amassed a certain amount of wealth. I'm thinking deeply about what I want to leave my kids behind. I would start that conversation today of, hey, are you going to want $400,000 worth of stuff that you can sell or not sell that goes up or down? Or do you want something that's worth $400,000 that spits off cash flow that you're able to refinance if you wanted to take money out to invest in other things or do something for yourself, or you're able to take that step up in basis and go acquire more of it kind of tax free? That would be what I'd be thinking.
I love that. I really think it would be a great exercise for people of whatever generation you're a part of right now to sit down and think about how you want to pass what you are going to pass along monetarily to the next generation, just like you were talking about, and leave the labels off of it. Meaning describe what you would like to leave, how that will perform without talking about whether it's stocks, bonds, real estate, crypto, whatever, and just describe it. And, you would probably say things like, you're thinking about taxes. Well, I want it to be tax advantaged, right? I want to make sure that my future generations aren't burdened by an overwhelming tax burden and they pay their fair share. But if there's tax advantages, that's really critical. I'd love for it to be producing cash flow for that next generation, because I think that will ease my next generation's burden of how are they living their lives, and whether that is helping them support paycheck to paycheck, which is what most families in this country are, or maybe you're able to help them decide on a career that they truly can follow their passion, because not only are they able to survive paycheck to paycheck, but your investment that you're leaving them give them that extra bump, which changes their lives and allows them to follow their passion, right? Maybe you might describe, hey, listen, I want to leave some financial education, some built-in financial education and business ownership, entrepreneurship to my next generation. And a rental property or a portfolio of rental properties is a beautiful business in itself. It's small and it's manageable. And I get to talk about it with my kids who are 10 and 12. We talk about the business of owning a rental property. And it just is, it makes sense to a 10-year-old and a 12-year-old. And that's part of the beauty of investing in rental properties. We understand it. People need housing. They want to pay rent to live in the house. We get it. So maybe those are things that you would describe of the money and the assets that you want to leave to your future generation. And after you get done describing those things, then go and line up. Does that mean I want more stocks, more bonds, more real estate, more crypto, more whatever it may be? But start first by thinking about the benefits of it. I think if most people did that, there would be a much bigger seat at the table for real estate. And then what you should do is, if that's where you land, then start to educate yourself. And I love that you guys are here. We've had 70, 80, 90 folks here in the middle of summer talking about retirement planning and this great transfer of wealth. This is unique, and I love this. this is where it becomes possible to take advantage both from the side of maybe the boomer who is leaving that legacy and from the millennial who is receiving that legacy, because it starts with education and conversation. And if you want real estate to be a part of what you're going to leave forward to your generations, you want it to be a smooth and enjoyable process, they've got to be a part of a community like this. You've got to have those conversations so that you're empowering that future generation and that it doesn't lead to heartache at the time of passing. So I just think there is so much potential here for this to be a beautiful transfer of wealth to future generations. But I think to the comment that was made before as well, the other side of it is also true, right? The idea of a have and a have not, we think of it monetarily, but there's the idea of the have and have not from an education perspective. Mm-hmm. And people have the opportunity to educate themselves right now to set their families up for the greatest transfer of wealth. We know not everybody's going to take advantage of that. So I applaud everybody here for being a part of this call. Thank you guys for letting us kick it and talk about these things. And I would encourage you to talk about it with your friends and your family, because this is coming, and largely how we act and how we choose to educate ourselves will determine how much advantage we get to take of it.
That is 3 of the best minutes you've ever had on this show, bud. I applaud you for that. Really well summarized. I'm just gonna end it with, if you either see the fact that this big transfer of real estate is going to affect things in the way that real estate prices are going to go up, and you want to get in, you want to take advantage of this new incentive that's happening with JWB, or you are somebody that already has a retirement portfolio set up and you're thinking about shifting some assets in there to create this condition for the next generation, allow them to take advantage of this stuff, go to chatwithjwb.com, shoot an email to info@jwbcompanies.com. What was that number again? 904-677-6777.
You nailed it.
Even I can remember it. You see? All right, cool. Make that call. Good job, buddy. Good job preparing for this, man. I really like how you landed that thing. It makes me really hopeful that this broken system of retirement and these horrible stats that we're seeing, maybe there's a light at the end of the tunnel in this generational transfer. And you know how I see it, right? I think the internet's the light, right? Like, I think more and more good behavior will continue to happen because of the internet. People will know that real estate is this asset class that does this at a higher rate. People will understand that completely passive turnkey rental property investing can happen because there's vertically integrated providers in there that can provide a great experience like JWB. And people will know that when they are, handing down these legacies, they're able to set their future generation up to have not just like a pile of cash that's easy to go spend, instead a nice functioning business that's going to be, difficult to talk yourself into dismantling, which I think would be really interesting, Matt.